Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Chaos and I wanted to introduce myself a little bit more so you can get to know the man behind the camera. First of all, I want to thank everyone who's watching this and is a current subscriber. I appreciate the support you've been showing me from all of my videos. The channel's growing more than I expected it to. I kind of started this just as a hobby, and seeing those numbers go up is it's a really good feeling. If you're watching this and you haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? So, as well as being known as Chaos on YouTube, most people actually know me as Dave. I'm 35 years old and I'm born and bred in Barnsley, if you can't tell from the accent, and football shirt. I joined YouTube back in 2014, but I didn't actually start uploading videos until 2016. At first it was more of a mishmash of different types of games. I just wanted to run a full-on gaming channel playing different kinds of Let's Plays and everything, but I couldn't quite keep it up. I'd sort of get so far into a game and it started to feel like a slog. So I was playing, I think my first real main series was playing through a game called BioShock, because I thought that was a good place to start. It's my all-time favourite video game, so I thought that's the kind of thing I want to share with the people that are watching. But it started to get to a point where I felt like I was playing more for the viewers than to enjoy the game. So about halfway through last year, I would say, I started to see more and more Football Manager content popping up on YouTube, and I decided that was a route that I wanted to take. I used to play Football Manager in my bedroom at my mum's and talk to myself anyway, so I figured I might as well start recording my insane ramblings and sharing them with other people. The main inspiration behind me making my channel solely Football Manager was a YouTuber called Loki Doki. I started watching his content sort of like early last year, and I enjoyed what he put into his content. He's got a really good sense of humour, which I can relate to. It's quite similar to mine. So that was sort of what made me then go, I want to start making Football Manager videos. Another reason behind me wanting to start making YouTube videos regularly was to help me fight social anxiety. So from a fairly young age, I've always had problems speaking to people, getting to know new people, getting into new friendship groups. I kind of stayed in my own little clique. I made a few friends, I stuck with them, stuck with what I knew and who I knew, which as I've got older has affected things like obviously not only my social life but my work life as well. I find it very difficult to come across confident, even though I know what I'm talking about. I find it difficult to make other people feel like I know what I'm talking about, and I find it really hard to make eye contact with people when I'm talking to them. So following some anxiety courses and some self-help stuff, you kind of click that maybe making YouTube videos regularly and getting a camera, because originally I started off with no face cam, this could be a way for me to get used to talking to people, treat the camera as if it's a person and treat the camera as if it's eye contact. And I'm quite happy to say I've noticed an improvement. I'm gaining more self-confidence. I find it a lot easier to talk to the camera, and that's now pushing through into real life and regular daily life. So as I said, I'm 35 years old, born and bred in Barnsley. I'm a lifelong Barnsley fan. I think I started, I had my first season ticket back in 1995-96. Then the year after they got promoted to the Premier League. So at a young age I was exposed to a Barnsley team that I thought was a good team. Unfortunately since then it's been much of a roller coaster ride with ups and downs. I've got a younger sister and two half sisters who are both older than me. My little sister's turned more into a best friend as we've got older. When she was younger I could have quite easily choked her. But as we've got older and we've both grown and matured, she's become quite a important, well, she was always important, but she's a big part of my life. She's very supportive, so thanks Tracy. I work full time as kind of an IT project manager. The major exact job titles sort of like this long, so to go through it would just probably fill up this video. So I'm not going to go into that, but we kind of design, develop and implement warehouse management systems. So that keeps me busy during the week, travelling everywhere, which means YouTube has sort of fallen back into a weekend hobby thing. So what I'll tend to do when my recording schedule is bulk record at the weekends, so I can't really answer comments and stuff live. I try to do it in text on the videos themselves after they've gone up, but I can't really interact with people through the videos at the minute. I've got a young boy who is almost 3 with my current partner, who's also been a massive encouragement and a massive supporter of everything I do. I can quite often be hard on myself and criticise what I do and not think anything's good enough, but she's quite quick to give me a slap round the back of the head and say, look, this is good, keep it up, keep going. So with my partner and my sister, they're 2 real big reasons why I keep doing this. I've come close to stopping a few times, but people keep encouraging me. Seeing the numbers going up on the channel just keeps me going as well, so that's good. A few of you might have actually seen my son. I posted a picture on Twitter at the beginning of February where he were actually here, and he were playing in his room next door. I was trying to get a video recorded, and he came in and he wanted to join in, so I cut the recording short because obviously I don't want to expose my little boy to YouTube just yet, but we had a little bit of a session in front of the camera and he enjoyed that. I'm absolutely covered in tattoos. As you can probably see, my arms are quite covered. I've got both my arms are sleeved, one leg's a full sleeve. I've got an Avicii tribute on another leg because he were big. I absolutely loved his music. Just the way it makes me feel every time I listen to it, it's brilliant. I'm also midway through a back piece, which is actually a cover-up of an old tribal tattoo that I had when I was 18 and rather stupid. When I was younger, I played semi-professional football. I was playing for Ossett Town back in the day, a local non-league side. Started with trials at Kettering Town, who were a conference team back then, and I got picked up by Ossett through that. I was a right winger, one of those little quick tricky guys that used to get kicked a lot. I've always been quite a short guy. I'm only really 5'7" now, so when I was younger, you can imagine I was a dwarf really. So I was always that kid that they stuck out on wing. I had a lot of pace, could run past players, and it got me kicked up in the air quite frequently. I gave up on trying to build a career in football around about the age of 20. I kind of realised that I weren't bad, but I weren't good enough to make it professionally. So I concentrated on work life and building a career elsewhere. I did get back into playing Sunday League pub football when I was in my late 20s. But unfortunately now with working away and seeing my little boy at the weekends when I'm at home, I don't really have time to play as much as I would love to get back into playing the game. I just don't have the time. I mean, the desire to play football never really leaves you, and going to watch Barnsley on a regular basis as I'm a season ticket holder always makes you feel like you want to get involved again. Outside of work and Football Manager, like I say, I'm a massive gamer. Favourite video game of all time is the original BioShock. I love the whole atmosphere that it's created, the levels, the city of Rapture, the claustrophobic underwater feel that it gives you, and the jump scares. Even though I'm gonna have to stop saying people class it as a first-person shooter, but it's just something completely different. If you've not played it, I highly encourage you to go and just pick it up and give it a go. Probably pick it up quite cheap these days. It's from back in 2007, so I dare say it's quite cheap to pick up, and I would highly recommend anyone that's into the games just to go and give that a try. I also sit and paint model Warhammer figures. I don't know if you can see this. This is something that I've been working on over the last few days. It's just something that I do to escape and to de-stress. It's relaxing, there's a lot of detail involved, and I can just sort of put on some music or a podcast, or even watch some of my other content creators. There's loads that I follow on Twitter that obviously help the Football Manager community. I'll put them on in the background and watch them while I'm painting, so I could just do that and lose myself for a few hours. I've been doing it in between recording this week while I've been locked away. I'm also a massive car nut, so I've owned 4 Skylines over the last few years. Probably my dream car. I've actually had the privilege of owning my dream car, which was an 800 brake horsepower Nissan Skyline R34 GTR. Then after I sold that, I moved on to the slightly newer version, which was just called the GTR, and that was 600 brake horsepower. Both cars more than capable of pushing well over 200 miles an hour. I'll stick some images on the screen through editing just so you can have a look at them. Honestly, I could sit and talk for hours about cars, but I'm not going to because I'll just bore you to death. I've got a little pet cat called Dulcie. She's my little black and white bundle of chaos. I'll stick a picture of her below. Unfortunately, with work and me being away from home, she actually now lives with my parents because I'm not here 5 days a week to look after her, and it would be unfair of me to keep trekking her back up and down at weekends. So she lives with my mum and my dad. I do go down and visit them as much as I possibly can. Can't really beat a cuddle from your favourite ball of fluff, can you? The other big passion in my life is music. To me, music is a great escape. With mental health problems, people just need something to just shut off. And there's so much that I hear in music, whether it's just the beats or the lyrics, that speaks to me. I'm one of these few people that I can listen to a song and it actually makes my hair stand up on end. I get goosebumps to some things. And I've actually Googled that. It's not a medical issue. It's just a very rare thing. So I can just put music on and switch off, turn the lights off, or do my painting and just forget about the world. The best place on earth for me, in my opinion, is a music festival. A lot of them I go to are 2 or 3 days, sometimes 4. There's a big one in this country called Creamfields, which I go to every single year. 4 days in a field, get drunk with your mates, listen to some amazing DJs, and just forget about everything that's going on. Obviously, at the minute we've got the coronavirus thing going around, and there's a lot of events that I'm scheduled to go to that are getting cancelled at the minute or postponed. But they're just places where you can go and just forget about life, forget about work, forget about family stress, just enjoy yourself, be you, and just have a laugh. It's just such a brilliant place to be. I would encourage anybody to just, if they've never tried it, just try one. Even if it's just for a day, just try a festival. Pick your favourite kind of music. There's festivals everywhere that caters for everything. Just go. Just enjoy it. I need to stop doing that. As far as YouTube goes, as well as Football Manager, I like to watch other kinds of content. I watch various different kinds of gaming stuff. I like a little bit of Minecraft. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. I know at 35 years old I probably shouldn't be playing around with little squares of bricks, but again, it's relaxing. But there's also a group of YouTubers called the Hermits. They record a series called Hermitcraft. So creative. I just like to see what they can do. I mean, some of them are really technical, playing with the redstone. They can do amazing things with machinery in a video game, and then some can build some stuff that looks absolutely unreal. Considering all you're playing with are cubes, some of the stuff they've come up with is absolutely unreal. I also like to watch sort of theme park stuff. So there's a couple of channels like Theme Park Worldwide and Theme Park Crazy that I really enjoy theme parks. I love going to theme parks. I love roller coasters. I've got a bit of a need for speed, so they're really, really up my street. So the content that I watch gives me ideas of theme parks I want to visit. 5 years ago, I went on a mini tour of Germany with my sister. We went to 3 cities in Germany and visited 2 massive theme parks over there, and that's definitely something that I would like to do again. I found 5 or 6 more parks in Germany and France that I would definitely like to visit, so that's something that I'm putting on my bucket list to do later down the line. I know it's a bit of a weird one, but I like a bit of dark tourism. There's just something about the eerie abandoned places on Earth, that the stories that they've got to tell, it just really, really piques my interest and speaks to me a bit. Like some places that are abandoned because they were in the old Wild West gold rush, the villagers that just popped up in middle of nowhere to mine as much gold as possibly could, and then once it had run out, they just moved on and left things to just rot. Then you've got your other places, like there's a place called I forget the name of it. There's a place in America that's been abandoned because it's got coal fires underneath it, and there's just so much of a story behind these places. It makes you wonder, as big as the world is, where people used to be and what they used to do, and it's just that kind of history behind things that really interests me. One of the big places I do want to visit is Chernobyl. I know it's obviously a very delicate subject because of what happened there, but there's just something about the place I just like to visit it and soak in the atmosphere. Preferably not soak in any of the radiation. I don't want to develop superpowers. I'm quite happy as I am, but yeah, I'd just like to. It feels like a time capsule for people's lives. Just suddenly everything stopped. Amazon Prime did a series on it a few months ago, and it were brilliant. And it's just some things like that just really, really interest me. So I like to look at websites of abandoned. I like abandoned theme parks as well. There's a bit of a eerie kind of feeling to those. Unfortunately, there's a few theme parks that I went to when I was younger that are now gone, like the American Adventure and Camelot. We had some good times there when I was younger. It's a shame to see what's happened to them, but the world moves on. There's money problems and these things happen. I'm not sure what's happening with my green screen. I've got a flickery thing. I did try to solve it before I started recording, but I gave up because I'm just not that technical. I just don't know what's going on. So, my content's still developing with me. I'm obviously still quite new to this. I'm currently at 128 subs. Thank you to every single one of you. I do appreciate that. As I said, seeing those numbers go up and checking the analytics on a month. I try to keep it monthly because I don't want to try and focus on it too much. But that's the encouragement. Knowing that people are watching what I'm making and people are enjoying it. There's comments, there's likes. It gives you a real good feeling. It's nice. I've been running 4 saves this season on this game. I ran a Breaking the Mold series with RB Leipzig where we took over and set myself a 5-year challenge to take over from Bayern Munich dominating Germany. That's run its course, that's come to its end. I did the 5 seasons of that. Go check that out. I really enjoy making that. I started a Fallen Giants series with Bolton Wanderers, but I kind of ended that early because I just wasn't feeling it. I just didn't get into the game. It weren't grabbing me. It was more frustrating than anything else, so it just weren't making good content, so I ended that. Currently I'm running a worldwide journeyman save called the World Tour. We're currently managing Albania after starting as international manager in Azerbaijan, randomly from nowhere. Just start off as an international manager. I'm running over 160 leagues from all over the world in that save, so it is an absolutely massive save, but it means I've got huge scope for where we can go. I want to try and cover as many countries as possible in this save. I'm going to keep it running until the end of Football Manager 20's life, before we move on to 2021. Or till my manager reaches like the age of 70, because I mean, who carries on past that kind of age these days? So that's a long-term plan. I've got a single-player career save with Skegness Town going on as a lower league manager. We've achieved back-to-back promotions in that. That's another save that I'm really enjoying. I did intend that to be a long-term save as well, but I think that might eventually run its course if we get to a point where we can't improve them anymore, or we've gone and won the Premier League. So that's like a we'll see how it goes kind of thing. I do want to go back to the Breaking the Mold. I originally planned that kind of series to be different countries, so I'll go to another country and do something similar, take over a team that's never won Serie A and see if I can take over from Juventus in Serie A. Another 5-year challenge. I'll probably run that at some point. Maybe give the Skegness save a couple of week rest or something like that. But the plans at the minute are to keep going with the world tour, keep going with the Skegness town, and then slip some extra content in there where I can. Like I say, it's difficult with work because I only get 2 days to record sort of 6 videos, and the last thing I want to do is experience burnout, because not only does that kill me, but it has an effect on the content. If I'm burnt out and I'm just recording for the sake of recording, it doesn't make for good content. You guys aren't going to enjoy watching it. That's not going to help build the channel. So go check out those 2 saves. Let me know what you think. I'm always open to feedback, constructive criticism. I'll take all that on board. I'll improve what I can. I'm going to try and work on the lighting. I need to try and get a light behind my monitor. I don't have a great deal of space in this room, so I'll have to try and manufacture something that can get me a decent light behind my monitor. It's obviously on a budget. I'm not making money from YouTube. I'm doing this purely because I enjoy it, and it's a hobby, and it's helping me with personal things as well. So everything comes out of the pocket to help build this channel up. So yeah, that's me really. I think I've 20 minutes I've been rambling on, and I don't want to bore you all to death. I think that's a good enough video. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the continued support. Thank you for all the subscriptions. Anything that I may have missed that you'd like to know, please do drop it in the comments below. I'll quite happily I'll reply to every comment. That is what the target I've set myself. I want to reply to everyone, and with a smaller viewership at the minute, it's a lot easier to do. I know there's a few people that's got thousands of subs, and it's near on impossible, but you can also catch me on Twitter at Chaos Central, so if you want to ask me anything on there, you can do. And well, that's the man behind the camera. I hope you've enjoyed getting to know me a little bit, and I hope to see you watching a bit more of my FM20 content. See you later.